So Steve from OSG UK,
That's it.
sales manager.
Northern sales manager. So I cover West Midlands, East Midlands, Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, Northwest, North Wales, up to Cumbria, Northeast, and Scotland.
Okay, cool. I'm old enough to have had an A to Z. Have you got an A to Z?
Not anymore. I did have one. I did have one.
All right, I'll stop talking about A to Zs. How long have you worked with Advanced Cutting Tools?
I've worked with Advanced Cutting Tools since pretty much the day that I started at OSG, and I've been with OSG since August 2012.
Yeah.
And one of the first, I was an area manager just for the Northeast first, so a sales area manager just for the Northeast. So one of the first things I did, one of the first people that I saw was came up to see Advanced Cutting Tools when they was in their old building. I had a meeting, met Mychael, met some of the guys in the office, some of the sales guys.
How long ago was that then, Steve?
2012, October 2012.
Yeah.
And yeah, got on instantly with them. Met some of the sales guys and some of the internal guys, and yeah, I've got on really well with all of them. The technical director at ACT, I think he'd just started his position in the company at the same time, and I got on really well with him. Got on well with everyone really, and maintained those relationships over the years. And I feel like I get on really well with everyone in the business now. And obviously, people, there's new people have come into the business, but those guys that I met back then, I still get on really well with them. I have a lot of time for them, a lot of respect for them.
I think it's because they run like a brand. They know what they're for. So the people that come and go, it's strange actually. I mean, most of the people that I've known at and by the way, of course, they've evolved into ACT Group now. I think it's important that, the fact that we've referred to them as Advanced Cutting Tools is, I think, is fine, because it helps us to tell the story of the evolution, because Michael's taken the business to offer ancillary product around the core cutting tools now, as we both know. So it's ACT Group, of course. So they've changed a lot. Michael's broadened his focus, but he's always stayed determined on this idea, it seems to me, of if it's not the right cutting tool, kind of what's the point? Because there's lots of people just trying to get, cutting tools out there without considering whether the prescription is correct. How do you feel about this thing, Steve? But, getting the right cutting tool is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons that I enjoy working with ACT so much. Everyone throughout the business understands that philosophy, and everyone in the business has a good mind for it, very technically minded, good engineers within the business. And that's, if you're selling tools to engineers, you need to be an engineer first and foremost. You need to understand processes. You need to understand how to save money, and you can save a couple of percent on a cutting tool, no problem, but it's the whole costs that you've got to consider. And what I really like about ACT is their approach. Everything's benchmarked, everything's studied, and it's not just turn up at a customer and here you go, can I give us an order for 10 M mils. It's not like that. It's let's work with you, let's lower your costs, lower your overall costs. If a tool's a little bit more money or a little bit less money, it's irrelevant really in the grand scheme of saving that customer the maximum amount of money that they can, because that's what it's all about.
It sounds obvious, but it seems to me that people like yourselves and ACT Group, you want to sell what's best for the customer, rather sell what the customer actually wants, rather than what you desperately want to get out there, either because you've got a lot of it or because of margins or whatever. And that's,
definitely.
So is that the difference between short-term and long-term thinking, do you think?
Absolutely. We OSG UK, we have a partner distributor network, and ACT is one of our, right at the top of the tree, first customers that we think of, one of the first partners that we think of. And that a requirement for one of our partner distributors to be a partner distributor is to have that mentality, to engage with the customer, to sell on technical merit, rather than just what promotion have we got this week, that kind of thing. We want we want to sell tools by saving customers money, and ACT really, the ACT group, as you mentioned, it's great that, you know, they've got the what I would call peripheral, because it's not central to our business, with the lubrication and whatever, that can offer a full solution. But we really synergize with the cutting tool part of the business. We have very similar philosophies in trying to save the customer money to sell tools to them. You know, we want to be successful, sell our tools, but we don't just want to sell whatever the flavor of the month is. It's got to be what's right for the customer at that time, and develop long-term relationships, you know, based on cost savings more than anything.
I've known Mychael for, gosh, 5 to 10 years now, and it seems to me, whenever I listen to him and his guys and gals on the front line, most of the things that come out of their mouths are questions rather than statements. So they're trying to learn all the time, and I think that's one of the things that's plugged into the sensible evolution of the offer. Can I ask you, how do you, at OSG, how do you work out the future of the category, the future of engineering, and how do you stay ahead of the game, and you know, so you're able to give people what they want when they ask for it, Steve?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're constantly developing new technologies, constantly, and, you know, being a key partner of ACT's, I think that's why they want to work with us as well, is that we're constantly reinvesting and constantly developing. We produce our own carbide, so we sell carbide tools. We produce our own raw material. We don't buy it in. It's ours. It's proprietary. We produce our own coatings. We've got one of the largest coating facilities anywhere in the world, so we can develop our own coatings, and we develop the machinery that we manufacture our tools on. So we have full control, total control. If something needs to change, we change it, and we get development ideas from people like ACT. If they come to us and say, well, we need a barrel end mill for this sort of application, we'll say, right, okay, well, we can develop that, it's no problem. And, you know, we try to always sell new products. You know, it's good to have legacy products and things that work well, but, you know, if you can keep updating, keep ahead of the game, and I think that's one of the reasons that ACT and OSG do synergize so well, is just because, you know, same mentality, new technologies, keep on being faster, better, you know, and that's what it's all about, really. Especially in this country, you know, it's a very competitive market, and in the global market, you've got to be very competitive in the UK with higher costs, higher labour costs, that kind of thing. So it's really important to have the best technology available.
Balance between cost and quality, isn't it? I suppose is ever more important. Can you help me to understand the scale of the OSG offer, please? So, you know, how many tools, how many SKUs, that kind of thing, please.
Yeah, I'll try and be brief, but we're a global company. We founded in 1938, so we are 83 years old now. Is that right? We're founded in Japan, manufacturing taps, and that's our core business, is taps. We've got approximately 33% of the global market share of tapping products. We supply end mills. We've got a very high share of end mills and drills. So we specialize in round shank tools, taps, drills, and end mills. Can offer a lot more than that, but those are our key products. We have manufacturing all over the world. Most of our tools do come from Japan, but a few years ago we built a new factory in the UK for producing carbide end mills. We have the engineers from OSG Japan working to design the tools with us in the UK, and that's something that we can work really well with our partner suppliers, partner distributors with, is reacting quickly, getting special tools, working with designs quickly and producing tools quickly and that kind of thing. But I believe I'm right in saying, I might not be right, but I won't give numbers, but we're very, very close to the top of being the, if not the top, being the largest round shank tooling supplier in the world. And our offering is vast, you know.
So on the subject of choice, it's OSG's up there.
Yeah, if you look at end mills, you talk about offering the right end mill for the right application. We've got just too many to mention, you know. But what we do with ACT, you know, we've done product training, we've done one-on-ones, group trainings, that kind of thing. They're very well versed in our product. They know it inside out. Whenever we get new products, we send all the details, we discuss it with their sales guys and their applications guys, and make sure that everyone's trained up, that everyone knows what the features of this tool are, what it's applicable for. But yeah, our range is vast in the solid tools, so taps,
it's
drills,
important,
and end mills.
isn't it? Because you're all, as we've said, you're all focused on helping clients to get the right tool. Can I just ask you, just before we go, just the last thing, it's about your personal relationship with, I know you mentioned it right at the beginning of the chat actually, but you know, with Mychael and the senior team across at ACT. Is there anything you want to add about the dialogue you have, the relationship you have, and how it's developed so far, Steve, and how it might develop in the future, please? Anything on that subject?
Yeah, absolutely. I've obviously met Mychael very early on, and instantly liked Mychael. You know, he's very, very driven guy, very you know, customer orientated, and you know, he'll often say to me, because I meet Mychael quite often, you know, and go over sales numbers and, you know, new products and things like that. But we always have really, really nice discussions, and it always centers around, well, you know, Mychael will say things like, you know, if I've got to take a hit, and as long as my customer's happy, then I'm happy, you know, and that kind of thing. And he's just got the right attitude, the right mentality. And you know, when I speak to people like that, it really sort of resonates with me. And I just like the business, and you know, Mychael's leadership from the top sort of filters down throughout the business. And I just think they've got the right attitude. I think Mychael's got a great attitude, built a great business. His senior team, I get on extremely well with, and I think, you know, the leadership that Mychael sort of runs with, it goes throughout the team. Everyone in the business seems to have the right attitude, wants to do the right thing for the customer, and it hits home with me. And that's the reason that I really enjoy working with ACT.
There's a patience there. So if you, oftentimes, particularly with COVID type occurrences, people can get a bit panicky. But Mychael and I chatted a little bit during COVID, and it was, you know, clearly there were new challenges, but there was a patience there, which is clearly we're going to hopefully come through the other side, which we are now. And a patient approach didn't affect the top line of ACT anywhere near what we thought it would. So it's really nice that you're similarly minded on that. Yeah. So thanks a million, Steve. Thank you to you and OSG. So have a lovely day, and thanks a million for taking the time to chat today.
No problem. Have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.